What is going on, people? What's good? A little bit of a different competitive sniping video this week. I kind of want to get into telling the untold stories around competitive sniping. I feel like, well, I'm the only one really putting out this kind of content, and I feel like these stories will only come out through me, and it's nice to remember them and going through them. This one specifically is about a girl who died on PSN, which is a complete contrast to me saying these are nice stories, but hey, we start with that one. Now, before we move into it, I'm not going to disclose any names specifically, but this did happen between the PSN NA side of PSN and side of competitive sniping, because the main two characters I want to say of this story is one guy and one girl. The girl who died, and then the guy, I don't want to give his name out. I do think he was an Exile player though. I think he was Exile NA, and I did really well with anonymity for all of 1 minute in not getting into the names, but yeah, you can't you can't gather much from that. An Exile player. Let's look at who could get into a competitive sniping lobby way back when, even if it was just a scrim and not a clan match. I don't know about nowadays how lax it is, but back then, who could get into a lobby? These were leaders, managers, players, friends, and fans until it's full, really. There'd be no space to get in. Like, you'd have to jump in the lobby with you, the other team, your mates, and just send the other invites next to you now, because these used to get really packed really quickly. This girl and this player, where she was, to me it was more of a fangirl, to be honest, and she was always there. She'd always get the invites, and she'd always be around, always watching us play. At the time I could really relate to this and understood why she was around a lot, because there was a player called Shadows, which I got my name from, and as opposed to Call of Duty now, how it's set up, you spawn in and you have to pick a gun and you have to play straight away. But on the older games, and this was happening on Modern Warfare 2, it would put you in the game and it wouldn't spawn you in until you picked a gun. Now, because of that, you could spectate other players. So I'd drop in and I'd just spectate him, and I'd wait till the game would time me out, and I'd go back in and watch him, and it's always be like, yo, I can just send you an invite, you can just play on my team. I'm like, nah man, I want to watch you play, because I'd only get to watch him play in clan matches and scrims, and it wasn't on YouTube or anything, so that's the only way I could watch him play. And I think it was the same for this player. And even if I'm getting off on a little bit of a tangent there, it's all relative to the story. So the Exile player goes ahead and introduces this girl to competitive sniping, and he'd even just sit on the main screen and just talk with her, and we were getting used to her presence within the community. You'd go online, you maybe message her, you'd invite her for a scrim, and she was slowly starting to get better. I could say she was upcoming, I want to say that, and she might have even gotten into a top 25 team, although I don't remember. Like, she wasn't amazing yet, but she definitely was upcoming, and she definitely had a presence in the community, and she seemed nice enough and wanted to be around the competitive scene. One day we get a message randomly, but these things are random. It's not something you can time or tell is going to happen. We get a message from her mum saying she had died, and I think the reasoning was it was in a car crash. Everyone on her friends list got this message. The player she was close with, the Exile player, made a video about it. He was upset, and he went as far as to say he loved her. The next day, the mum sends another message to the community, and telling a little story from what I've gone from, what I've seen. These things, right? I think if you're not in it, like if you're not around the community, you can definitely discount the importance of your friends within that community. It's like, obviously, it's a little circle. It's a little community we have on PlayStation, but you're growing up with these people, you're talking to these people every day. So I think people that don't see it really discount the importance of it and how it feels to us. So the mum was like messaging like, yo, we're overwhelmed with the amount of like support and messages we've been getting, like, thank you so much. And the reason I said referencing myself real quick is that I had a popping teacher when I first started getting into popping. First started dancing. He used to teach at Pineapple Studios. His name was James Painting. Like, he was an amazing dancer, phenomenal, amazing teacher as well, and he was well known in the community for the classes he used to do and his level of dance in the community at that time. He was very, very different, very detailed. But when he did pass away, his family, I remember going on Facebook, and his family couldn't believe the amount of people that knew him and the amount of support that they were getting from us. So that's why I reference it when I go to, if you're not in the scene, you don't really understand. Now a few days go by after this second message, maybe a week, and then I see who I assume to be her mum on Modern Warfare 2. Now, it's strange, but you can't really tell people how to grieve, so just leave it, whatever. I'll send them an invite. We play a few games, I log off, don't really think much of it. And then now this is getting strange. I log on a different day, and mum is on Modern Warfare 2 again. This is, this is really weird. Don't you think this is a bit haunting for us? Maybe you're playing the game your daughter used to play on your dead daughter's account. Like, this is a bit strange. Maybe you should log off and not do that. Now we get another message, the last message, saying, literally, basically, this isn't word for word, because I don't have the messages in front of me. I don't think I can even get back into that account, but it basically said, yo man, just to let you know, like, I'm fine, like, everything's cool, the girl didn't die, there was no girl, I'm some dude, and I basically made the whole thing up. So yeah, no one's dead. I sent the message to myself pretending to be someone's mum, but I've got a new PSN, and if you want to add me, we can play, like, cool, like, just add me up, like, I won't be logging into this account again, bye. What? You can't do that. Bro, no. You can't just make a person and kill them and act like nothing happened. Oh, you're a fucking serial killer. Because you can't do that. He acted like he just left the front door open. Like, oh, sorry about that. You can't fucking do that, man. That's crazy. Do you know what that could do to us and the players around who we thought was her? That's actually fucked. But do you know where my curiosity lies? Is the player. I mean, he did take the video down. I wish I'd had it, but I don't have it. He did take the video down. You made a video about love and all this. Come to find out you'd never really spoken to her or known her like that. Guy damn near bawling his eyes out on camera. And it's strange. I mean, it's a hard thing because I have friends on PSN. I have mates I've known for years, like a long time. My early and late teens, I'm still friends with these people and probably will be forever, but it's kind of different how you gauge these things. Like, for instance, I've heard these people's voices in real life. At the very least, I've heard them speak. Like, this kind of guy that would chop off his willy and send it in the mail if she needed a bacon spoon, if she'd had asked him, like, fucking sadly enough. Like, you know that man that will fly out and join ISIS? This is one of them, man. Like, you can't just do these things. I'm sure it taught him an important lesson. It probably fucking traumatized him for a bit, which, is completely fucked. But, what happened. I've enjoyed telling the story. Let me know if you do want more of these untold competitive sniping stories around the community. And if anyone was around during that time, does anyone remember this happening? Or do you ever remember what happened to that guy? Because obviously I'd never added him. I'm not fucking adding someone like that. Like, you can get away from me, mate. Like, no, pal. If you enjoyed the story, the sniping, and have made it this far, please leave a like. In a bit.